Hello, everyone joining me on Speed Gaming 4. Thanks for coming back for another episode of Super Metroid Randomizer League Season 4. This will be a Week 6 matchup in the Meridia Division featuring Slaughter's 27 of the Catgirls and Exact Science of Croc's Third Law. My name is DJ Webb and I will be your commentator for today. We've got a very pivotal sequence here in the Meridia Division. Catgirls are currently in first. They're one game ahead of second place, and they're looking to keep that up in these final 2 weeks. Clockster Law in a tie for fourth place, and the third and fifth place teams are facing off. Muscle Club and Tales of the Dreaded Metroid this week, so this will be a very, very tightly packed division coming through to the end. But this will be race one between these two teams of the week, and we do have a new randomizer mode debuting here in the Randomizer League. This is Dash Recall. This is a newer version of a previously released Dash Randomizer. There are some changes made to item placements, some different logic versus our normal Varia Randomizer, as well as some new items. Just a whole lot of things. The map has been updated a little bit. As we go along, I'll be telling you some of the changes as they come up. I'll try to give you a brief overview. It is mostly a major minor item split that we're used to in the randomizer modes. However, with the new items, there are actually two completely added major locations, and there's another switch that we'll come to in the eventually. So we're going to have, mostly standard major minor, especially at the beginning. First change will either be once we go to Rex Ship or Crade. But until then, we'll be riding as we typically see runners in these types of seeds. Morph Ball, and then the other major down here is the Ceiling E-Tank. And before we get too far into this, I do want to give a shout out to my tracker, Jestro Zooks. He is one of the most prolific trackers, always first on the signups, definitely very helpful. And also, before today, the only tracker with experience on our new Dash tracker, which you can see it has a little bit different item pictures and has the grapple and the x-ray as well. So once again, shout out to Jestro. So far, pretty normal. We've just got a Morph Ball and a Missile Tank for our runners. And if we do happen to get some Power Bombs, we could potentially see our runners go left. And here's one of our first new changes. So as you can see, it does not say Charge Beam when they collect this item. It's a Charge Upgrade. There are 4 charge upgrades littered throughout the seed that you can find. If you also notice up in the top right corner of the HUD by the map, there's a number. It used to say 20, it now says 40. That number is strictly charge beam damage, and it will update automatically. So whether they get a new beam or a charge beam upgrade, those will update. Got a bit of an interesting play here. Exact is going up to Billy Mays. No supers yet, so that's definitely what she is looking for. But not a typical play that you see. Plenty of other locations that can be supers, and with the way this randomizer works, it is unlikely that you will be, forced to come here, but it can happen. So on the other hand, she checks the minor behind Morph, finds another missile, and does not decide to do the meme route, as we call it. So we're going back up, and Exact is going to get rewarded with the super missile, but this is a time costly play, and Slaughter, she's going to be pulling ahead for now. So for the time invested, I'm going to say Exact Science got about as much as she could have asked for. Double super there in Billy Mays, especially early on. If you're going to look at a faster seed, you want your ammo high early. And 2 supers that Slaughters is almost certainly never going to get. It's certainly going to help with that. But she is going to be a little bit behind getting to the rest of the map. And we do not see a 230 check here from Slaughters. Little bit of a slower minor check, 4 door transitions, plus you gotta wait for the power bomb to explode. But without supers, it's definitely a maybe you do, maybe you don't. And we do have vanilla bombs, so this is gonna be a BT fight without supers. So hopefully you have some speedrunning experience. Slaughter's definitely has a lot of that in her wheelhouse. I know Exact is also in the vanilla scene. I believe she was part of a relay on Saturday where she was running some 80%. So more missiles than you would standard have typically, but still only a missile fight. Nicely done by Slaughter's 27. And hopefully for her sake, some supers. We may see a gauntlet play. Bombs make it so that your 5 power bombs aren't all you have to get through. But yeah, for now we're gonna head to Brinstar and hope to find our super missiles there. This is so far we've had vanilla morph, vanilla bombs, and a vanilla Terminator E-tank. Other than that chart beam upgrade, we're looking pretty normal so far. So hopefully we can both get some different items, and hopefully we'll get some of the new items in Dash Recall that I can explain a little bit more about. Nicely done by Exact as well on that BT fight. All right. One-star reserve area. We're in here now. 4 Sloters, a couple of missiles, and an energy tank. Slightly better than the vanilla room, considering it's energy over reserve. But if this is also vanilla, that'll be very welcome. Unfortunately, more power bombs. So the first race that happened, let's see, that started about 3 hours ago. We had a situation similar to this. There were supers here under the bridge, which of course I didn't see on the way in. So we're gonna end up in a situation where we're looking for these deep into Brinstar and maybe having to go back, but that's definitely gonna put Slaughter's, pretty much confirming that lead that she had over not checking Billy Mays. Just gonna be down those 2 supers. Exact. Gonna have to find somewhere to make up that time. And in the meanwhile, we have a various suit find here in the Edacoons area. Different from our normal very randomizer, the damage reduction done by the suits is it's balanced in the sense that when you pick up their first suit, whether it's Varia or Gravity, you'll get 50% damage reduction from enemies and environmental damage. Varia still provides 100% heat protection, so that's normal. Gravity, unlike Vanilla, does not do full heat protection, and unlike other randomizers, is not 0 heat protection. It's 25, a little bit in the middle. We're unfortunately not going to be able to see the functionality of one of our newer items, which is Heat Shield. If we do end up picking that up, we'll talk a little bit about it, but it will not be relevant for this seed. Now the seed attaining on Super Sorters is going to be just fine. 15 is definitely a good amount early. I like the wall jump check over there on Sorter's side for this setup for the wave gate. And charge upgrade number 2. So if you take a peek at that HUD up at the top right, it's going to go from 40 to 60. The general principle of the charge upgrades is you start at basically what I'm going to call 1x, and every charge upgrade takes you to 2x, 3x, 4x, all the way up to 5x. There's one exception with the wave spazer combination. Gets a little bit wonky, but it's not too hard, and you never have to actually guess what it's going to be. the charge beam damage will always be located up there for you. The only math you have to do is how much health a given enemy does and how many shots you need to take it down. But yeah, pretty good ammo. 3 tanks and various suits, so a pretty decent Brent star. We are coming up to one of the big decision points here in any vanilla map seed. Coming in a red tower, you can choose to go up towards the wreck ship. You can choose to go down towards Norfair. With the various suit, it definitely incentivizes going down towards Norfair. There are lots of major locations down there. I was gonna try and find the number for you, and then I decided against it because I definitely would have been wrong. But up definitely has some merits. Yeah, expected. We're going down. Slaughter is very much a proponent of this early X-ray play, we like to call it. Lots of discussion this past week about the logic and how it works with this. I do believe this is a logical play right now. Varia 3 tanks bombs should get the job done, but regardless of that, Slaughter's definitely wanted to get a peek at this item. Very well done on this deboost strategy. Those are very useful in some glitch categories, especially glitch 80% I know. And rewarded with another charge beam upgrade. That is interesting. This is much more powerful than a normal charge P-Shooter that you would see, but you definitely want some other beams to go along with it. Definitely going to be getting some big upgrades, almost no matter what beam she finds next, if she does in fact find another one. But yeah, an interesting distribution on our tracker so far. Everything's over there on the left. One thing that is worrying me that I just now noticed on Exact's side, I said she was going to have to make up some time somewhere, and it looks like she chose to try and make up that time at the Edicoons. And that was, of course, the exact worst place to skip, unfortunately. So that is very much not good for her standing in this race. Definitely a tough call when you're in a position where, number one, you're up against a very, very good opponent in Slaughter's 27, and number two, you also know you made a pretty slow play to Billy Mays that wasn't necessary. So if you want to make up some time, you got to cut out something. And Edicoons of the earlier locations is pretty time costly, but can't say I've ever seen someone skip that with power bombs, and almost certainly the worst item you could miss in this seed. Alright. Zep finally gets that D boost the way she wanted to off the Fire Fleet, and yeah, now we're into this the good setup for early X-ray. She's in the pattern now, and this looks like it should be a good attempt. Almost cursed it. Good job, Exact. So, a little earlier about the major item location changes. So, here in the crate area, normally there's 2 majors. There's the various suit location behind crate, and then there's the E-Tank location that is opened up once you kill the boss. Here in Dash Recall, that E-Tank is no longer a major. It is just a minor. That balance is it makes things a little bit more balanced between this down red tower play and the wreck ship up play. Wreck ship does have 1 additional major located at the Sky Missile. Exact is scaring me again, but I wasn't going to mention it, so I didn't curse. Down to 2 energy. That's 2 more. That's 1 more than you need to survive, but that energy will let her survive a spike hit, and also put her out a health bomb to get more power bombs, which you don't need. So, Exact is going to take this refill named after her opponent. Shout outs to Slutters. Who also does an early, or I guess not an early powerbomb hundo strat in there in the frog pocket to do those Get those B-toms off of her. Nicely done. We got our third power bomb pack to allow for any crystal flashes that she may want to do, but yeah, we're gonna be headed down to Norfair. One runner is gonna have various suit and one's not. And unfortunately, there's also not a ton of energy early in this game for Exact, so curious if she may decide to, maybe pick up these early Norfair checks and then hit up the wreck shift after Crate, but we will see. Ooh. Another nice find here in Norfair, the screw attack. If you want to continue this Norfair play into lower Norfair, that's definitely a comfort and safety item that you like to find. Question in chat about Dash Recall. This is a new randomizer based off of the old Dash, which is mostly major minor split. There's a few changes to some items. There's also a few new items. Unfortunately, we haven't seen any of the completely new items. The biggest difference that you can notice right now is the charge beam. Right now, we've got 3 of our 4 charge upgrades, and we've got wave beam. So up there in the HUD, there's a 200. That is Floater's current charge beam damage. As you see on Exact side, it's only at 80. She doesn't yet have that wave beam. Other new things such as different major item locations. Croc or Crady tank no longer one. The new ones in Wreck Ship, there's one at Sky Missiles. In Meridia, there's one at Watering Hole. And in Lower Norfair, there's one at Mickey Mouse. And here at Icebeam, we have a speed booster. So, second major in Norfair, another good pickup here for Sloaters. And a nice backup Craig quick kill over there for Exact. Good job over there. While Sloater shows us the Iceless escape. I don't know if Speed Booster makes that any easier or harder, honestly. But it's definitely going to make our trip to Bubble Mountain faster. What you like to see. Curious how Floaters wants to take this. 3 more majors here in Bubble Mountain. The reserve tank, the speed, and the wave location. And we're going to see the save room jump, take the speed booster off. It makes things a lot easier. I was ready for a spring ball jump to go to Norfair Reserve first, but not what Sloaters decided. A very nice super pack here, also on Sloater's side. Headed down to Ridley soon, I am assuming. You definitely want to have lots of ammo. And yeah, there is that gravity suit. Another unfortunate thing for Exact, if she also takes this play over into Norfair. Gravity is go mode for Sloaters, which is what we like to call when the runner doesn't really need any more items. And for Exact, she's just gonna be hunting for a Varia suit that she unfortunately left behind. So yeah, Varia was at Edakun's E-Tank. Exact skipped that for reasons I can only assume are related to an early Billy Mays play. And yeah, very unfortunate for our race standing Sloaters. Just plowing ahead, no heat damage here in Norfair. We are getting that spring ball jump I wanted. Shout out to spring ball. So that flame icon that Sloaters just saw and did not pick up, that is the heat shield. I alluded to it earlier. It's not going to be relevant at all this seed. As you can see, Sloaters did not pick it up. What that heat shield does in Upper Norfair, which is our current location, it gives you full heat protection. You will not take any damage from heat. Once you get into Lower Norfair, that heat protection switches from 100% to 50%. So if you're in a situation where you're down here, you haven't found Varia, but you do have heat shield, it makes that play to go into Lower Norfair without Varia a little bit more palpable. You're not going to be taking near as much heat damage. That item, as well as Pressure Valve, which hopefully we can see and it'll make sense when I talk about it, they are like the suits that they kind of replace, but they do not do any damage reduction as far as environmental or enemy. So they're helpful, but they are definitely riskier than the full Varia and Gravity suit. That's a grapple beam pickup from Soda. It's definitely something you like to see. If she ends up in a situation where she wants to farm either health or ammo in Lower Norfair, that grapple beam makes it very easy. Also a very fast Dragon fight if you don't want to do the sparks, which is a strategy you do in a lot of the speed runs. So here we are, we're taking Remember Highway. I believe that is the name of another team in this league this year. Coming down here, Lower Norfair, Slaughter's, as I stated earlier, she doesn't really need anything else, so it'll be up to her to decide what items she does and doesn't want to check along the way. Definitely a little bit more ammo would be nice. We got a lava spark set up here that looks like it's close enough, and it is. Very well done. That's an 80% strategy. Always like to see those in our randomizer races, and Slaughter's one of the more experienced in both of those realms. Nicely done. And as we saw, Exact did decide to come in here and do these Upper Norfair hell runs, as we call them. So she needs some health, and looks like we're going Crocomire early. Now, we talked a lot about item changes. Haven't had a lot of time to talk about map changes. There's one change in here that you're going to see as soon as she drops down into Crocomire. This door is blue. So if you come down here and, maybe you just kind of were iffy about this and, you said, hey, I'm down here, but you don't want to fight Croc, you can just leave. Biggest thing is once you pick up this E-Tank, if that is something that you want, you really don't want the other item, you can also just leave before the Crocomire, death animation goes off. While I was talking about all of this fun map changes, Slaughter shows what we like to call the hypo wall jump. Either discovered or first implemented by a runner named Hypo, I recently learned. It's a triple frame perfect, I want to say, jump. As Exact finds that pressure valve I was talking about earlier. I'll mention that a little bit more, as we also found the space jump over here. It's an extremely difficult trick. Slaughter's got it within, I want to say, like 5 tries and made it look really easy. It's not. There's way too many people that do that nowadays and make it look really easy. So I have to make sure I mention just how difficult that trick is. Exact again, cutting it close, but very well done getting out of that lava. And about that pressure valve. So pressure valve gives you vanilla water physics. So vanilla physics in water, unless that water is in Eastern Meridian portions of the map. It does not give you vanilla physics or normal physics in lava or acid. A little bit trippy there. But unfortunately, on Exact's side, we're not going to be able to see this because she is likely to just kind of run into gravity after she's out of here in Croc. But that opens up, it makes some things easier as far as, getting over to Wreck Ship and some of the items of Wreck Ship with the water. It also gives you access to a lot of the majors in Western Meridia. You can get to Mama Turtle, you can get to Watering Hole, you can also get to Plasma and Shack Tool, which have been changed in this randomizer. And yeah, we're going to see what else Crocomire has for us in the seed. And it's an E-Tank, which for her situation really isn't that bad. Her runs on 3 E-Tanks aren't the greatest. Speed is obviously helping along with that, but that 4th one is nice. So there's down here in Lower Norfair. Only does the 1 farm, was hoping for a super, but with 24 and 40 total missiles, does not even need ammo or her charge beam, but I like this. Missed 1 particle on the X Factor, and it came back around for her. Thank you X Factor particle. So with the eject factor being 300 damage, that's the equivalent of 2 supers. I believe she fired more missiles than she needed to, but this is going to be a pretty quick really fight. In Randomizer, it's pretty standard to have basically an all-ammo fight here. Dash Recall definitely changes that, both with the differing beam damages as well as, you know, how many miners you're going to pick up along the way. That was well executed. So there's with boss number 2 down. We're going to see what is behind Ridley. Vanilla E-Tank, again, that's something you'll take when you're only on 3. Obviously enough to complete the game, but, you know, a little bit of safety never hurt anybody. So Exact spiked that pressure valve down there in Croc, and she says, I'm good with the rest of this upper north stuff. Doesn't want to be down here taking a bunch of heat damage. And yeah, can take that pressure valve up, and as well as speed booster. That's gonna make a lot of things look a lot quicker in Meridia. Yeah, we're gonna get to see some of this functionality. So, as stated, no damage reduction for enemy or environmental damage from either pressure valve or heat shield. So it's actually going to be a Meridia 4 tank suitless. So enemies are dangerous, but luckily he has screw attack, also has speed. So those definitely mitigate a lot of the potential damage areas you're going to be up facing. I will say, other than the unfortunate, one item skip that is cost exactly everything in this seed, I do like the way she's been playing this, especially from the standpoint of trying to do some different things versus what she may think Slaughters is doing. Probably gonna be honestly a little bit shocked at the very, very fast time and maybe realize what has gone wrong for her. But yeah, and we're gonna see this Main Street miner, something I think I've only seen in a full randomizer situation. This may be the first time I've seen someone get that major miner. So always something new to see in a randomizer race. That is also giving me plenty of time to talk about some of these other new things that you can find here in Meridia. So Meridia, probably the biggest change overall in Dash Recall, I would say. If Kip wants to correct me in chat, he's more than welcome to. But there's 2 item locations in Meridia that are pretty infamous in the randomizer scene for their out of the wayness and there's the speed and the items that you need to get to them. Those 2 being Plasma and Spring Ball, which we usually call Shack Tool, because that's the little robot that has to break some sand for you to get the item. So for Plasma Beam, the changes are: number 1, it is no longer locked behind the Dragon kill, so that door is always open no matter what. Number 2, the Plasma Pirates are no longer Plasma Pirates, they're just normal pirates that you can kill with anything. And number 3, there's a platform that's been added to the room, so you no longer need any movement to get out. What that means is, if you have, normal water physics, whether it be via gravity or the pressure valve, you can check Plasma if you want to. The other change to Spring Ball is that the grapple block is removed, as well as the rest of the tiles there that block you. So there's basically no floor/ceiling tiles up there. It's just open, and the dirt is removed. So all you have to do is power bomb the wall, and you can just run through the room. I'm hoping that Exact will show us at least one of those, given that we know she's not going to find either suit up here. But we will see. She's also showcasing that given that pressure valve is gravity light, you can gravity jump with it. I guess we could call that a pressure valve jump if we wanted to. Jury's out whether or not we want to adopt that term, but yeah, I am unsure why she's not doing the standard spark here, but she wants to maybe conserve health. That would be my guess. And yeah, here's the other Meridia change that I hadn't mentioned. So typically, if you go this way, this is In the vanilla Deer Force intended route, you would come this way reverse from Wreck Ship because you come up here and the way to Dragon is blocked by gray doors that open once you kill Dragon. Here in Dash Recall, those doors are all blue, so you can come up here and you can just skip the Everest to Aqueduct to Botswoon sequence. You no longer have to kill Botswoon, and you can just go this way. So yeah, Exact did make it up here. This is one of those new major locations here in Dash Recall, the watering hole. I almost said aqueduct. And yeah, we got a reverse Cac Alley from Sloters. Did not want to waste time and ammo on Botswoon, and we're just gonna come up here and fight our Dragon. Down here we have just an E-Tank. From our perspective, it's been a tough route for Exact for a while, but she is I'm wondering what's going on in her head right now. Definitely still has some options, as I alluded to. We can now check those other Meridia items if we want. She also has the option to loop that post plasma check into a Wreck Ship play if she so desires. Didn't look like too many of those X Factor particles hit on the opener here for Sloters. If she goes for one more spark, could be the end. Ooh, not too much hand damage, and still has 320 energy to spare. Will we get the spike suit? We will not. Much less impactful when you have space jump, but you definitely always want that. Only an E-Tank here at the space jump location. Yeah, Exact is just leaving Meridia here. Sloters is probably going to catch her on this Trick to Wreck ship. Actually, hard to say, actually. They'll definitely be close to each other, though. Probably two and a half rooms, if I had to guess, given the speed and the spaceship, as well as Sloters is just generally moving faster. Exact is having to be a little bit more cautious. And we do find a Spazer here at Botswoon Energy Tank. Interesting place, given that if you do decide to go through Botswoon, Spazer does open up those blocks now. But as you saw, we went from 200 damage on our charge boon to 360. So that's very much a nice boon to our in-game damage output. So it is also, both runners are giving us a glimpse of the speed with no high jump movement. Obviously, space jump mitigating a lot of the awkwardness for Sloters, but yeah, on Exact side, as you're seeing. Ooh, I am unfamiliar with the beam setup of this Ocean Fly, but she has a chance in my book. Oh. Door open, but just not quick enough. That was very close, as I kind of thought. Heads up, super farming here for Sloters as she makes her way to Wreck Ship. I always like this fall down here towards Fantoon when you have the wave beam. You just do a bunch of shots early and get rid of all those shot blocks in your way. And a nice speedball to break that bomb block. So here we are in Fantoon's boss fight for Exact. Slaughter's will be joining her very quickly. She gets on her horse. We may have a simultaneous boss fight depending on how many slows Fantoon wants to give us. And knowing Fantoon, it's maximum slows. Slow pattern, fast eye close, the classic. Kind of a fun moment. Very rare in such a divergent seed do you get to see two runners in the same room like this. Obviously, the circumstances of this boss fight are extremely different, but you know, two Fantoons and two Samuses on the screen. Alrighty, that is Fantoon down for Exact. Slow this hot on our trail. See if we can get that hopefully the right mid here. No left appearance, so the fast was goodness. Fantoon just does not like us today, but what do you expect? Nicely executed 2-round, and Zach's gonna show us these things up here in Wreck Ship. If anything is checked by Slutters, it's going to be this right super first major here. Otherwise, probably just going to be getting out of here. She's got a good sized damage beam, especially for this dash recall mode, as well as plenty of ammo and movement that you're not going to ride home about without high jump, but you're not going to complain about it either. And there's our last charge upgrade. Honestly, one of the few things that would have been potentially worthwhile for Zoders to pick up over there. So yeah, that's all four. Probably not that frequent that you're going to see a race this week that runner picks up all four, especially considering just how many things Exact hasn't checked. That's it's pretty remarkable in all honesty. But Exact is going to be continuing on. And Slotus is headed towards Torian after refilling this beautiful Glaceon ship. So, do believe Exact took a save, so if this isn't anything worthwhile over here at Wreck Ship E-Tank, we are just going to be able to reset out of it. And it is a vanilla E-Tank. She decides she wants it. Without the without Variant or Heat Shield, I think that's a fine play. Brings her a total up to 7. And yeah, we're gonna get to see some Powerbomb Metroid rooms over here on Slaughter's side. We'll see if she does the fast things. So there are some strategies you can do at the beginning of the rooms. You can Powerbomb. I believe you have to hit a couple of Rinkas, and there's some enemy IDs that I'm not super knowledgeable about that will speed them up by just a little bit. Slaughter's not taking those. They don't save that much time, but they do save time in rooms 1 and 3. And getting to show off some spring ball jump roping, as I like to call it, in the Metroid rooms. Exact showing off the final new major location we haven't seen here in Dash Recall. It's gonna spark up here. That was, I'm sure, intended to be diagonal, and we're gonna get to see sky missiles. Interesting location. Without any good items to get up there, it can definitely be slower. It is our ice beam, one of those items you like to find in Rando. Definitely adds to the complexity of your wreck ship decisions. A lot of people like to do one or two checks and skip out, but being that there are now 5 majors and the final change I haven't talked about is Wreck Ship Reserve. Normally that's a speed locked major location. In this mode, the speed block was removed, so you can just run over there and wall jump up to the item. Chozo ball that blocks your view was also removed. Just a little bit of a quality of life thing, so you don't have to use a power bomb if you peek it, or you can also use wave and X-ray if you have those. But yeah, here we are towards the end of the game for Sloaters. Without high jump, baby skip is it's very difficult. There are some setups. I believe they also involve not using speed boosters, so not really worth their time to take off items and attempt a more difficult trick. Plenty of ammo to go through this, and good short charger, so I'm sure, or I'm hopeful we'll get a quick speed zap skip. If not, just a little ammo through. I'm not sure that was even an attempt. Oh wow. It didn't look like there were a lot of taps to me on that, but that shows what I know. Very well done by Sloaters. And there is double jump, so that may be the one other new item I haven't talked about. So double jump, it is like space jump, except there's only one use of it. Once you leave the ground, you can do one additional midair jump. It does not reset off of a wall jump, so you do have to land for that to reset. But yeah, there was some decent stuff up here for exact, as we knew. No suits over this way. To just the very suit skip has just its Punisher at every turn. But yeah, that is with that plasma pickup, as you can see, the damage over there on exact side is 500. That is the maximum that you can have in Dash Recall. Other quirk, which we also didn't get to see because Plasma was the beam she just picked up. Plasma maxes out your damage output by itself. So if you get Plasma first and then you get Ice and Wave, for example, you don't get any additional damage, but you do get the utility of those beams. Obviously, Ice does freezing enemies, and Wave lets you shoot through walls and other terrain. This 360 damage beam was 50 charge shots, not counting ammo. I believe Sloaters had a pretty good amount of supers going into it, so very fast fight. And last thing that we're on the lookout for is another change that's been made by the Dash Randomizer devs. I don't know if this setup works with Wave Plasma like it works with Wave Spazer, but Exact's trying to do a wraparound shot to open Gauntlet from this side the door. But yeah, the endings that exist in the vanilla game have always existed in the randomizer game. They have been changed, the time goals for it. So in Dash Recall, you need sub 45 minutes, I believe, to get the best ending, which is very difficult. As you see, Sloaters is running an extremely fast race and is going to be very close to that. And yeah, Exact got that wraparound shot after a few tries. Very well done. And was rewarded with a vanilla E-Tank. With Suit Restriction and Dash Recall, another minor quirk. Radiant Gravity are not going to be in Criteria or Blueprint Star, but the Pressure Valve and Heat Shield can be. So if I had to guess, that would be what she was looking for at that location. We have a left side fall here. Zach clearly knew that this was a super missile and she didn't want the normal missile. So yeah, based on the timings here, I am not thinking Sloaters is going to get sub 45. Probably going to be, if I had to guess, somewhere in the 45-20s. Zach's gonna super that Torian door just to give it a little nod, let him know you're coming later on. So here is exact the 44-minute Edikun check. This may be maybe a record for how late you've checked this in a vanilla map seed, but gonna get that unfortunate news about this very early various seat location, and yeah, gonna be very close to the dot done on Slitter's side. Alrighty. Heading up these final escape routes for Slaughter's. If the Steam doesn't, I think the Steam is going to destroy my my 45-20 prediction. Probably going to be like a 31 at this point. I was close, but as you can see, I wasn't cheating. So that is it for Slaughter's 27, and official race time of 45 minutes and 34 seconds. That will get the Catgirls to a record of 9-2. Again, they will keep that one game loss advantage over the second place team. Croc's third law very much still in it. We get to find out where those high jump boots were before the credits roll. Thank you to Exact. Now we're looking for almost nothing at this point. And yeah. Oh yeah, X-ray. That's the only thing we don't know about. Thank you in the chat. Alrighty. So those are definitely two items that are very welcome to see on Exact side. So she can do all of Norfolk to her heart's content, and as we know, there will be a gravity suit found down there for her. Now it's just a matter of heading to speed and boss rushing the seed out. Our winning runner Slaughter will not be joining us for an interview, so I'm going to take this time to shout out our runners in the chat. If you liked what you see and enjoy our randomizer action that we've been bringing you for these past 5 weeks and many more to come, give these two runners a follow, Slaughter's 27 and Exact Science. So we can check out on the left side the credits. That'll tell us where anything else that we wanted to know where it was. In the meantime, we are going to we're gonna get a good little look at how Exact is doing over here. So there's our one outstanding major X-ray scope at the radio reserve tank, left sand pit as we like to call that. And bit unfortunate here for Exact. She's going Ellen first, so not gonna find a gravity suit and just be in go mode for the whole time. He's gonna have to do all of those checks. I would assume she's gonna find, but yeah, high jump, various screw attack, all the movement items you would want. Down here. Think she wants to take on Spring Ball? No, Speed Booster. Yeah, that makes sense. Normalized setup here. Seeing a lot of GT Classic runs. Oh, doesn't get the morph. So we like to call this trick the lava dive. The weird physics interactions. Obviously, lava does not have normal air physics, but it's not quite water physics. It's a little bit in between. It allows you to do some slow descent wall jumps that get you up to the top of this room, and you do not need gravity nor space jump. Nicely done by Exact after getting over there to the left side. We're gonna be in Lower Norfair, get some more of this. So my favorite music in this game. Taking a bit of a think. Yeah, we've seen a lot of that pressure valve utility here this seed for Exact. She's also showing off some double jump strats. Definitely an item that you can get a lot of use out of. It's fun to play around with. Here's another quirk. If you're used to the old route strats in here, you'd have space jump, but you wouldn't have screw attack, obviously. With this one, you got screw, but you got double jump. And you saw that charge plasma shot didn't, just freeze those pirates like it normally would. You have the reduced damage to thank for that. Now she's gonna get an upgrade from her double jump to her space jump. Yeah, these key hunters also sponging some damage here from this full beam as full as you can get in this mode. Screw attack definitely would be my preferred option for those, and we're taking a save. Obviously she knows the outcome of this race, so she's just looking to finish. Time not necessarily the most important thing here. After killing all the key hunters, she's still going to get all the lag in this room. But we're headed towards Ridley, which should be pretty comfy fight. 38 current supers, so she'll be well above what she needs. And high jump and screw attack, which two very good items for that fight. Here in the Metal Pirates room, I'm curious if she's gonna, she's just gonna go for the super strats. I'm a fan of the speed booster strats, and unfortunately, as I believe she's an old route runner, the old route strat doesn't work if your beam is 400 damage less powerful. Lots of space jump use here in these couple of rooms before Ridley. And a comfy super fight. 18,000 health for Ridley, but double damage supers mean you only need 30 to take him down. A couple of misses, but should still be able to finish this out with only supers. I do not believe. Oh wow, that's a dead really. I thought you maybe needed one more super, but good job there. And forget what was behind you. I think it's just an E-tank. Yeah, E-tank. Gravity suit will be waiting for her back on Bubble Mountain when she gets out of this place. Lower No Fair Escape can definitely be one of the trickier, more difficult spots in Randomizer Run. We've definitely seen people struggle with it. With this item set, you just have to be, conscious of not running into stuff when your screw attack isn't active, and you'll be fine. Can we get the speed ball? Yes. Lower No Fair Escape also has some of my favorite movement in tech, so always nice to see these, any percent, 100% loadouts, so you can see all the cool stuff done. Also showing off plenty of spring ball strats. This heat tank not so bad. Given her current health, you will appreciate that refill. I'm not sure if that beam shot was all the way charged or not, but not even taking out those enemies, which go down to a singular missile, I know. So yeah, which is interesting because you're still doing 100. My knowledge of if enemies are taking half damage to stuff is very minimal, but I'm surprised that that beam basically did nothing to that enemy. Yeah, here we are. We got the wave location, which has our grapple beam, and then we've got the speed location, which has the gravity suit. Hopefully the grapple doesn't send her into go mode, but it is a possibility. With the high jump, the ice beam, the spring ball, the grapple beam, you can complete Meridia without the gravity suit, but speed's right there. I'm hoping she just checks it. A little bit of a pause here if you may not be familiar with the fanfare. Once the fanfare music is done playing, you do have to hit a button for you to resume. She is. I have to ask her about that later if we can. Alrighty. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Gravity was at speed booster plumps, which Exact has decided is too far away from where she currently is, I suppose. Very unfortunate. It's gonna make the rest of her seed take just a little bit longer than it needed to, but like I said, it is a doable suitless Meridia, and If this is a place she wants to get better at, definitely some good practice. This is 2 for 2 for exact as far as being right by the suit that she needed and just saying no. Fortunately, with the pressure valve, it's not nearly as much suitless Meridia as you would normally have to do in a seed. Not gonna be having water physics until she hits the aqueduct room. So back we go into Meridia. This is a part 2. She's shown us a few of these item locations with that pressure valve early. Now she's back with Varia, with high jump, with space jump, and not gonna have to check those initial 2. So quicker movement through here, and then we'd see some of that fun methodical suitless action once we get up to Aqueduct. So we'll see what strategy she elects for here in Aqueduct. Typically, runners like to use a grapple jump up here. There's a strategy to use a snail to climb, but with those blocks power bombed out, it's definitely, takes a while for the snail to get where you want it. She's doing what I like to see. Take it off that spring ball. With spring ball off, you can just mash jump to unmorph as well as to jump. Without it, you gotta time your down, up, and jump presses. So, yeah. Without that spring ball, we're just gonna call that first try. I love to see that. And that's suitless room number 1 done here in this Batoon hallway, or pre-Batoon. You're gonna have to do a Metroid ice clip. Something that you can see this even with the gravity suit if you don't have the speed booster, but obviously here without it, you're more than likely gonna see this. Get over here, you crouch to get the Metroid in place. You don't, however, want to crouch jump. But yeah. Well done, and we're gonna have a suitless Batoon fight. Not too difficult with the health as well as the the pretty good beam and its plasma soul pierce. I don't believe we've gotten any double hits. No X-ray for the microwave strategies, but this should be pretty close to done. Yeah. Spring ball is definitely gonna make this room faster as we go through the actual Batoon hallway. I was misnaming a previous room. So one other thing about this dash recall randomizer, if you have the plasma beam and you pick up Spazer, normally in any other randomizer or even the vanilla game, it would de-equip plasma and equip Spazer because they can't be on at the same time. Dash recall with a little quality of life change, the Spazer will be acquired, it will not be equipped, so once she gets out of her ball form and we can see it, she will still be shooting the plasma beam. It's also practicing these tight mid-air morphs, which are very difficult to do with high jump boots on. Good job there. Yeah, looks like a little bit of token farming here. Looks like she wants a few more of those supers back. And then we're going to be headed towards Dragon. Did kill that initial Metroid. Oh, and she killed that one too. You could freeze those and use them to climb up this room. It's a bit faster than the repeated re-grappling, but this will get the job done as well. We're close to breaking that surface of the water, and then we'll just be able to jump out of here. And hopefully we get a nice space jump across, no falling into the water here. Can't get too much speed going across, but anything's faster than falling. Three Dragon save. You like to see that in a suitless scenario. You never know what can go wrong down here. It does look like she is electing to damage down here with these Metroids. To me, that signals the normal escape from Dragon that you would see in the reverse boss order category. A lot of times a randomizer with the grapple beam as well as the spring ball, you don't necessarily need to do this. You can grapple jump out of Dragon and you can spring ball jump out of the room she was just in, the precious room, but that grapple jump can be a little finicky, and different runners have different experience levels and comfortability with different tricks. So best strategy is to do what you know and you're comfortable with and will work. So yeah, she's in Crystal Flash range. As long as Dragon doesn't blow her with the body hit, she'll be fine to shoot this trap shot and hopefully get a quick goop phase in here. That's not it. We're gonna roll to the right and try again. We're gonna roll to the left and try again. So yeah, you activate a Crystal Flash, the goop comes, Dragon grabs you, and that interruption of the Crystal Flash puts you in a weird state. The game basically just stores a shine spark for you. Why that is the decision that the game has, I couldn't tell you. Easy way to see that you've gotten that successfully is the color of that beam, as you can see on exact side. She has now converted that to it was a spike suit and now it's a blue suit, which means that once she gets back on the ground, she'll have these speed echoes behind her. And yeah, we're gonna get this grapple kill going. Yeah, no longer need to angle down. And yeah, that's gonna be a quick and easy one. Very well executed. Pretty much essentially it's an RBO Dragon. You just have plenty of damage reduction that you don't normally have with this various suit. Yeah, here's part one, the grapple jump. You want to bounce off of this wall with the jump, and then you're going to be doing that same tech we saw in the aqueduct room to basically, free jump into the air. And we are out of here. Yeah, this is how you would see this done in RBO. You grapple jump, then you come in here, you find this tile, you charge your spark that's been stored, and you're out. So yeah, now all we gotta do is get out of this this Meridian section, and we will be good to go. This suitless escape from Meridia is quite a bit faster than the entrance. Most of that due to the fact that you're going down most of the time versus going up on the way in. That spring ball has returned to our item set, so yeah, much faster Batuan hallway maze. You're coming back. And a nice quick drop through the sandfall. So we're gonna see how Exact decides to get out of here using this grapple jump again. This time doing it with the spring ball on. Oh, just a little bit too low for that. Spring ball off, and we're gonna try again. Again, in my opinion, this is the easier method, and she's making quick work of it. The other options you have are to do some underwater wall jumping back and forth. It's not one-sided like a certain runner decided to show us in a race a couple of weeks ago. It's much easier than that, going left to right, back and forth. But a lot of mashing, and this was a little more comfortable. So yeah, now we're gonna be back to normal physics for most of the rest of the game. Lava rooms, or sorry, acid and Turian notwithstanding, and Exact is she's ready to get out of here. Exact is going to decide to stop here at the ship and refill. Gets a lot of supers back in, all of her health. The health makes this refill a bit slower than you might like, but you know, those supers do a lot of damage in Turian, and she decided that was what she wanted. This is definitely the movement items that you want to finish the seed out. It's gonna make it pretty comfortable, pretty normal, save for the lack of gravity in a few Metroid rooms. Only other thing you gotta be careful about is taking damage on Mother Brain and some of these other enemies. So for anyone not aware, here in the Randomizer League this season, we are on a 10-minute delay. So in real time, our racer on the right, Exact Science, has finished. So she's gonna come in for an interview here real quick. We'll talk about what she thought about the seed as it finishes up here on the playback. And here she is with me in the commentary booth. Hello, Exact and GG on the race.
Well, thank you.
Obviously, the biggest moment here in the early seed was when you decided not to go to Edakun's, and that kind of derailed everything from there. I theorized that you were trying to save some of that time back from going over to Billy Mays. Is that what was going through your head?
I think so. I may have just totally forgotten that I had power bombs to check it. Just kind of gone. There may have been a little bit of like vanilla muscle memory going there, but yeah, if Slaughter's found Varia there early, then like there was no way that I had a chance. I knew that when I kind of figured gravity was at speed, which looks like chat has confirmed. But yeah, I was just with Eticoons. I do not think I remembered that it was a real place at that point in the game.
We just came out of Chozo Week if you played that one, so it's definitely hard to keep all these different, item checks, majors, minors in your mind all the time.
Yeah. Kid's probably hearing multiple music tracks because my mic was probably picking up my TV sound.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's resolved now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a fun one. I wish I hadn't missed Varia first passive of Brinstar, but so it goes. And then I kind of was hoping basically the Slutters had last location both suits, which definitely did not happen with one at Eticoons, one at Speed.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Varia was, the key to everything and finding the gravity. And also from we know, I think Heat Shield was at where was it? It might have been at Mickey Mouse, I want to say. Slaughter's found that, so that wasn't even an out that you could have found to maybe try and go in Lower Norfair without Varia.
I would imagine it was Norfair Reserve then. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was. That's right. So also from the position you were at, obviously can't know that just skip Varia. I liked a lot of the plays that you did. You'd had that the Croc 5, which gave you a pressure valve, and then you headed into Meridia. I was kind of hoping to see maybe some of those new Shack Tool and Plasma differences, but didn't decide to do those.
Yeah, pressure valve works in Shack Tool, doesn't it? I had it mixed up in my mind, if so, and it's like I can't remember if I can do this check. I'm just not going to go over. But it looks like it wasn't anything important at either place, thankfully.
Yeah. Between the two of you, the only thing we didn't end up finding was X-ray. So, yeah. You did, you found all the good stuff that you wanted, just unfortunately out of the way compared to Varia.
Yeah, and that wreck ship full clear definitely did not help. But yeah, I am glad that when I saw grapple it wave, at that point I had lost for a while. So just like, well, here's my Meridia access. I guess I'm just gonna skip gravity, which is definitely at one of the other two Bubble Mountain checks, just because I just wanted to like show off suitless Meridia, I guess. And I had a pretty good Dragon fight, so that was nice.
Yeah, it was definitely showed off a lot of good tech.
Unfortunately, not the stand-up glitch.
Yeah, Mother Brain, she likes to throw the kitchen sink at you sometimes.
Yeah, I think I was positioned just wrong on that bomb that hit me, but oh well. But yeah, that was fun. As I'm sure anyone can imagine, I did not go into that expecting to win. I just figured I'd try to show off some cool tech, try to do some good routing, which unfortunately involves skipping Varia suit. I was actually really excited when I saw those two supers at Billy Mays, because I thought there was a chance that they might be alpha and beta supers, but very much not the case.
Yeah. So obviously your team is in quite the dogfight for those final two Meridia playoff spots. I looked at the schedule earlier, but I forget who all play next week. But I know that Muscle Club, the other team you're tied with, is they're playing the Catgirls next week. So it's gonna come down to the wire. Should be some exciting finishes. I don't know if you're playing next week or not, but I'm sure you're gonna be rooting for your other teammate this week. I don't know if that's been scheduled yet.
Yeah, so Thor is playing Sephi Sunday evening, 9 o'clock Eastern. Don't know if there's a speed gaming channel for it yet, but keep your eyes open because that should be a good one. next week I think we're facing scrambled choices, and I will probably be running at least one. I think what we worked out was that I would run one of them next week as well. And so I think, like, all things considered, considering our week 7 opponents, I think we do have a decent shot. I mean, Scrambled Choices isn't a bad team by any means, but I think that of the teams in the division, they're probably one of the ones that we would have the best chance against. And then, I mean, Muscle Club and Catgirls is definitely a toss-up, because you get into the, like, randomizer experience and skill versus, like, vanilla movement, etc. So I'll be watching all those matches for sure, because those should be really exciting.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, when I looked earlier, Muscle Club's also playing Tales of Dread and Metroid this week. Those are the two teams that are also, those are basically U3 for 2 spots, so it's going to be hard to decide anything before the last race, basically.
Yeah, should be. I love when, like, even if we don't make it, it's always exciting when playoff stuff comes down to the wire like that, so it'll be fun to watch no matter the outcome.
Yeah. It's also next week's settings are definitely something that could throw all kinds of crazy stuff at you and send you all over the place. So should be exciting for pretty much every race. And yeah, your division as well as the top of Norfair is going to get decided with the top 2 teams facing off. Prince Stars, just an absolute slugfest.
Yeah, like there's a lot of really, really scary teams in this tournament. But yeah, so far it's been really fun. I, like, unfortunately didn't get too much of a chance to practice this new dash before my race today, but definitely a lot of cool stuff in there, and it was fun to, like, give it a shot on stream. And, like, you know, in vanilla you'd never get the option without, like, finding actual gravity suit to go to West Meridia and get those items and make those checks. And so it does, even if I didn't check out everything, you know, it does allow for some really cool stuff that you wouldn't see in a more, like, traditional Super Metroid randomizer. So I had fun.
Yeah, you gave us a good show. But, again, I gave a shout out to you earlier, but again, if you want to follow our runners, I'll put the links in chat. Commentary crew, I'm not sure if Just Joe streams either. I know I don't, but those links are there for anyone who wants to. And yeah, thank you for joining me here in this interview. We got to see you finish out. Good luck to you and your team on the rest of the season and maybe into the playoffs. See how things go. And yeah, if you got anything else, feel free.
No, not really. I mean, thanks for that, and thanks to you for comms, Jester for tracking, and Speed Gaming for putting us on the big screen.
Yeah, everyone at Speed Gaming does a lot of great work. There was some technical issues on this exact channel earlier that we got figured out with a lot of speed, so definitely thankful for that. And
oh, I guess I do have, sorry to interrupt, I do have one other thing to say. Not to cause, like, a scandal, but I did kind of tell Sloaters a little while back that I would throw this week in exchange for not having to pay her royalties for the phrase Sloaters refill. So now that I've lost, I think I'm allowed to do that. But
here for 4 payments of $29.99, you might be able to get the Sloaters / exact refill naming rights.
I don't know. I feel like that's kind of hers. I don't want to step on her toes. I'm sure I'll find something else silly to name after me.
Yeah. Final things I want to say before we get out of here. Obviously, this has been day 1 of this week. We had 4 races today, and this is a newer randomizer mode. Kip, one of the developers, has been in chat. I'm sure had a lot of data to absorb. Everyone's obviously playing this competitively for some of the first times. A lot of different strategies, a lot of things to consider. So we're definitely having fun seeing what's going on, and That'll continue throughout the rest of this week and into the weekend, and then we'll see some more in the playoffs. Other than that, we're going to thank everybody for watching. This is the final race, as I said, of tonight. We'll have 3 tomorrow and then plenty over Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Still a few more to get scheduled. And yep, I've been DJ Webb, Jestro again on tracking, and that's going to do it for us here on Speed Gaming 4. Have a great rest of your night, and we hope to see you next mission.